I want to thank Chairman Reed, Ranking Member Wicker, all the other chairs and rankers, and all of my colleagues and the staff who worked long and hard over the weekend for their good work on this bill. Now, there are a few items that are in the bill that deserve some attention, and in the largeness of the bill, I'd like to highlight. I want to highlight a few items added to the manager's package.
Per month. This is, it's never happened before. And look, history's been made here, but it comes alongside the largest drop in unemployment rate in a single year on record.
The Senate in history of the United States has been amazingly and extraordinarily productive. 20 months into the Democratic majority, I just want to take a moment to highlight the many, many accomplishments we have secured in this chamber under Democratic leadership. It's the most in recent memory. The American Rescue Plan, the Bipartisan Infrastructure Bill, the CHIPS and Science Act, the Gun Safety Bill, the Inflation Reduction Act, an omnibus package, and many other bills in between. Senate Democrats have worked hard every step of the way to improve the lives of American people, to help those in the middle class stay there, to help those struggling to get into the middle class a little easier to get there. And we will continue to do our work for the American people this week by passing a CR to keep the government open.
Benefits have lost around 40% of their buying power. One of the biggest proposals in the works is an increase in benefits. For people who are ages 80 and older, not only will this help older adults maintain buying power, but it will also provide a boost for retirees who are running low on savings. And while nothing is set in stone, this plan does propose increasing benefits by around 5%. And it's one of Washington's most divisive proposals, as only 53% of Americans, 53% of Republicans are in favor of voting for it. So if the Republicans decide to block this stimulus check, that means we won't be getting any stimulus payment if President Biden can't get this past the Republicans. But hopefully everybody he can, because President Biden can definitely send out stimulus checks if he's done it before. Now, the nearly 1.9 million borrowers who paid off their loans during the pause and those who refinanced their student loans during the pause into private loans do not qualify for the automatic stimulus check. Yes, people are getting automatic stimulus checks because in August, Biden extended the pause on repayment, interest, and collections, which began back in March 2020. And according to the Office of Federal Student Aid, about 9 million federal student loan borrowers have made at least one check and one payment to April 20 to March 2022 of this year. So the application for loan forgiveness will become available in October, next month. Borrowers are expected to advise and apply before November 15th in order to receive a check before the end of the year. And we all know how important it is for people to receive the stimulus check, so hopefully President Biden can do something about this and help out the American people. Guys, it is here. President Biden can finally do something for the American people that's valuable, and that's sending out stimulus checks before the end of the year. A stimulus check of $2,000 or even $1,400 has to be approved by December of 2022 if President Biden has any hope of making the American people happy. Now everybody, the whole goal of this channel is to provide you with the most up-to-date, reliable stimulus check information from anything on stimulus aid, relief assistance, low-income benefits, Social Security benefits, and as well as stimulus check news. I'll always
take this opportunity to wish everybody a very happy holiday season and a wonderful new year. And what I wanted to discuss very briefly with you is the fact that I will soon be assuming the chairmanship of the U.S. Senate's Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Committee, one of the most important committees in the Congress. And as I move into that position, which has very broad jurisdiction over many of the major issues facing our country, let me tell you what's on my mind and what kind of committee I would like to lead. And I also want, at this moment, to ask for your help.
Since we ran late, she had to go somewhere else. So, we just had a very productive lunch as we lay out the next few weeks. Negotiations for the year-long omnibus continue forward. Though we're working tirelessly, we need a bit more time beyond this week to get an omnibus done, avoid a needless shutdown. That said, the Senate should be prepared to pass a one-week CR this week and give negotiators more time to to finish up.
Now, this is a great idea, folks, and it will help people out with stimulus checks. So I definitely believe that it's going to be great if Joe Biden can get this out. We have attended views with the fourth stimulus check, Social Security benefits, SI, and SDI. Continue watching this video because you don't want to miss out on this. Much relief is here, and the lawmakers in the House and the Senate are ready to close in on a deal that's going to give you stimulus checks every single month. It will help those of you on SSI and Social Security. It will help those of you on low income, and even if you're not in need of a stimulus check, this bill will help you out still. So Kevin McCarthy is accelerating the long-stalled push for a unified House GOP strategy in Washington's high-stakes debt ceiling stand. His opening offer on a debt limit is riddled with potential political pitfalls, including an expiration date that would tee up another high-stakes fiscal fight just before the presidential election. Kevin McCarthy plans to present a menu of debt limit options in person when Congress returns. This includes several types of massive spending cuts, stricter rules for the government's social programs, and new energy policies. The House GOP has a limited time to come together with only 4 votes to spare, as it eyes a vote by late May. The party's list of potential demands, which also includes an across-the-board cut to discretionary spending and strict work requirements like food stamps, is likely to change as the House Republicans hash out a former bill in the coming weeks. They are also proposing to raise the debt limit for just 1 year, triggering another battle over the federal purse in the middle of the presidential primaries. This includes 2 months of discussion with 6 to 10 lawmakers at a time. The stakes couldn't be higher for Kevin McCarthy. This Republican must avoid a misstep that would weaken his speakership, which any single frustrated member could voice a vote to terminate. And unlike other GOP items which satisfy the party base, there are slim chances of any becoming law. Any debt ceiling limit is disliked by the Republican Party. Now, the New Mexico governor has recently announced a bill that the state will be sending out the newest round of $500 rebates in mid-June. The state taxation and revenue department will send rebates of $500 to single filers and $1,000 to married people. This is for heads of households. Any New Mexico resident who filed a 2021 New Mexico personal income tax return and is not declared as dependent on the person's taxpayer refund will receive the rebates automatically. It's also important to remember that there is no application to receive rebates. The governor told reporters today that there are prices for basic necessities continuing to be high across the nation, and our state is in a fantastic financial position. And it's important to me that New Mexico's families are sharing in that success. Taxpayers who receive the refund by direct deposit on their return will receive the rebate by direct deposit as well. All others will get a check in the mail, and direct deposits will be mailed and distributed first, and checks will be mailed over the following weeks. Now, eligible New Mexico residents have until next year to get this money. So, everybody, don't waste time and get the stimulus check that you need.
Hundreds of thousands of families in North Carolina could get another check from the state. North Carolina is receiving about $5.7 billion from the latest stimulus package. Governor Cooper wants to use that money for another round of extra credit grants. Last year, those checks went to families with kids to help